think there's too many people logging in. Oh my god. Wait a second. Wait. So I just had a class, so I finished that, and now I'm going to talk about my marks because my reaction was very interesting. So there were a lot of surprises. Okay, so my total mark is 41. That's 1 mark lower than I predicted, but that's okay because it's only 1 mark lower. And let's start with core. So for EE, I got an A, and I did my extended essay on English literature. My essay was about Jane Eyre. I was not expecting an A. It's basically sums up my shock. So I got 2 marks higher than the grade boundary. So, yay, I guess I got lucky on that. So yeah, I got an A for my EE. And honestly, like, I don't really remember what I wrote exactly because it seems like such a long time ago. But I am really happy that I got an A for it. And I would also really like to thank my supervisor because she is awesome and she really, really helped me because, like, I think my draft predicted was like a C or a D. So I'm really happy I got an A. And then for TOK, I also got an A. And I am also very shocked by that because I was predicted a B. And also, like, my presentation was pretty good and I did it with like 2 other people, but my essay draft was not that good, to say the least. Because at that time I was also working on my English HLSA and my math IA, and it was over a break, so I wrote so many essays over that break, and so my draft was not that good, like not up to my expectations. So I was honestly like, I was like expecting maximum B, but I got an A, and I am very surprised. But I am so happy. But this one I also was like only 2 marks over the grade boundary, so I am so thankful for that. So yeah. So for my core, I got 3 marks because I had A in EE and A in TOK. So next, I'll talk about my languages, which I'm very surprised by. In a bad way for one, and in a good way for the other. So my English results was the most shocking to me. I got a 5. I was not expecting a 5. I was expecting a 6. And I don't think my English level is a 5. Yeah, I was very surprised by that because I haven't gotten a 5 in a really long time. Like when we did like practice exams and stuff, and practices in our English class. And I've only been getting like 6s for all of grade 12, basically. And like I even got like 7s leading up to the exam. So I'm not really sure what happened. I am a bit confused. I like still think 5 is a good mark. I'm just a bit confused. I am only 4 marks away from getting a 6, but I don't think I'm gonna appeal this just because English is really subjective. So like, what if my grade actually drops? Like, I don't want that to happen. So I don't think I'm gonna appeal this one. I'm not like mad or like sad about this grade because I think 5 for English Literature HL is still like a really good grade. I'm just surprised and a bit confused. But like do I wish I got a 6 or a 7? Yes. But I'm happy with a 5. So we're gonna probably leave it this way. And then for my Chinese, where I did Chinese BHL, and I got a 7. And this one was surprising in a good way because I was actually only like 6 marks away from full marks. Very surprising because like, although like I'm ethnically Chinese, I will put that out there. But my writing is not that good because I grew up in Canada and my first language was technically English. So like I basically didn't know how to read or write in Chinese at all when I came to China. And that was like in 4th grade. So I've come a long way with learning how to read and write Chinese. So I was really surprised that I got such like a high mark for Chinese. Like that was really surprising and I'm really happy about that. And shout out to our Chinese teacher because she's great. Okay. Next, I will talk about my Individuals and Societies course. I only took one, which is Economics SL. And this one, I am mad about because I was only 1 mark away from a 7, which makes me really sad. Yeah, so I got a 6. My predicted was always a 6 until like April this year, which it got moved to a 7. So I'm not that surprised that I got a 6, but I am surprised that I was only 1 mark away from a 7. So I might appeal this, but of course because economics paper 1, paper 2 is all like writing, so there is a chance that it might drop. So I will consider appealing this. I will consider. But I am really happy with the 6 because let's just say I'm not really like business economics person. Like I don't like specifically really like that's not really my passion. So I'm really happy, like proud of myself that I pulled through that course and I got a really high grade. But yeah, I might consider appealing this, but I'm still really happy for the grade that I got. Now I will talk about my sciences. So I took 2 sciences. I took Chemistry HL and Physics SL. So for Chemistry HL, I got a 7. And that was actually like one of the courses I was really worried about because this year there was so much organic chemistry. And like the I still don't know how to pronounce that word and it's been a whole year. Spectroscopy? Anyways, all 3 of them were on the test. And that was our last unit and we only took like, I don't know, like 2 weeks on it. So I was very confused. So I'm really happy with my chemistry grade. Really, really happy because, yeah, there was so much organic chemistry and it was really hard. And then for my Physics SL, I also got a 7. I was predicted a 7. I was slightly worried because I'm like surprisingly, like shockingly bad at paper 1 for physics. Like I know it's just multiple choice. Like there's only 4 answers. Like there's only 4 choices, but I don't know why I'm just really bad at paper one physics, like really bad. But anyways, I got a 7. I'm so happy with that. Physics was really hard even though it was just SL. So yeah, really happy with that. I'm really happy with my sciences, and clearly I took 2 sciences, so I am like going into a STEM major. I am more of a science person than a business econ person, to say the least. And then, last but not least, my math. So, my math score. I was also only 1 mark away from a 7. I am probably going to appeal this because math isn't that subjective of a subject, but I also know that means that unless like the examiner in the first place, like whoever marked my exam, accidentally missed a step or something, the chances of me increasing that 1 mark is not high because like obviously you can't just change the answer for math. But I still want to try because I probably will regret it if I don't appeal this one. So anyways, I will probably appeal this, but I am really, really happy. Like the grade boundaries this year for math were surprisingly low. Like usually I think it's like 80 or something, but this year it was like only like it was only like 69% for math AA HL. And that is really surprising, but also like I seriously thought I was gonna like get a 5 in math because I knew like I messed up my paper 3. Like it was not very good. But that might have also lowered the grade boundaries because I think a lot of people found paper 3 really hard. So I guess that's kind of good. But yeah, I got a 6 for math. I'm really happy with the 6 because math I found not easy. To say the least, not easy. Although I am going to be majoring in math, so I probably shouldn't say that. But anyways. Oh, my phone's going to run out of battery. Okay, 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Anyways, as I was saying, or not saying, I don't really remember what I was saying. So for my math, I got a 6. I'm still proud of that score, but I am majoring in math, so I want to see if I can get that up to a 7, but 6 was my predicted anyway, so it doesn't matter that much if I don't get the 7, but I still want to try, because that will make me feel better. Anyways, so yeah, overall, I am pretty happy with my results. Like, I was not expecting 3 points for core, and I was definitely not expecting to have such like high scores for like math and also like my sciences and also Chinese. I am a little bit disappointed for English, but that's okay. And I am still proud of myself because my goal was to get higher than 40, and I did get higher than 40, so I'm happy with that. I might appeal for those 2 courses where I'm only like 1 mark away from a 7, just because I like feel like it's a bit. What's the word? I forgot the word in English. Anyways, just because I feel like I will regret it if I didn't try. Yeah, that's basically it. Like, finally 2 years IB is over. Yay! Yeah, I do feel a bit sad about those like 1 points. Like if I just like like just added a word or like got one more like question right, I could have gotten that 1 point. So I'm a bit mad at myself for that. But like overall, I still got a really good score. Like getting 40 plus in IB, like that is like pretty, like that is good. And like I only dropped 1 mark from predicted, which is really good as well. So it's okay. Everything's fine. Yeah,